Right then! So, welcome to our next episode of Paul and Carole Meets. And as you can see, we have the lovely Cruising Canucks with us.
Hello, everyone.
So we're going to go through lots of questions and find out what makes them tick. Now, we're on the new Amsterdam at the moment. We've been on a week's cruise in the Caribbean, so we're both vlogging our trips. So make sure that you go and check that content out, which will be out on our channels sometime soon.
But make sure you watch ours first.
Yeah.
Because if you watch theirs first, you'll realise how rubbish we are.
But anyway, so let's start with our first question.
Let's start where we're going to be talking about cruising and we're going to be talking about a little bit about YouTube.
Oh,
So,
well, it might be more.
the first... Was there something like First question is, what was your very first cruise?
Oh, very first cruise was Carnival. We left out of Long Beach, California.
Carnival Paradise was the first one, yeah.
And it was just a 3-night cruise because Mr. Canuck for years said, I'm not going on a ship.
Never.
Don't take me on a ship. No way did he want to go on a ship. Anyways, we finally convinced him, and then I created the monster that we only go on ships now. Yeah.
Right.
So you say you've created the monster, so how many cruises have you done so far?
This cruise is our 36th cruise.
It is.
Yes.
Because you've done a lot of Carnival.
Yes.
We
What are we, 23?
23 carnivals. So we did Carnival for the majority of our cruising career, and then the last, I don't know, we started doing different ones just prior to the shutdown.
Yeah, we did a lot of Carnival because Carnival was family friendly, and we used to we used to do every other cruise with children and not with children.
Right.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
would do one trip, just the two of us, one trip with our 3 children.
Right.
That's how we did it as
Which
we
is
were
quite
growing
similar
up.
to what we did, because we do one cruise without children, and then the next cruise without children.
It's very
But we do
same.
cruise with family.
Yes, we do.
So, the guys just said that they've done Carnival cruises and we're on a Holland America cruise. I keep saying Holland and America. Why can't I say Holland America?
But you didn't say Holland
Didn't
and
I?
America.
No, you didn't. You said it
No.
correct.
Just to let you know, they've got so much content on their YouTube channel for these 2 Carnival cruise lines, and the reason we're on this ship is because we've been watching them, so do make sure you check that out. But anyway, next up.
And talking about content,
Yes.
what first motivated you to start your YouTube channel?
You want that one?
Well, you can
Now this
start.
could be a 4-hour one.
We might dive into that a bit.
Yeah, we thought we wanted to be famous. Was the first.
No.
What happened is we were watching other vloggers, and Paul and Carole were one of them. And we kind of looked at each other. We had done one ship tour. I think we had a YouTube channel for 2 years and put one video out in 2 years. And we did a ship tour, and we kind of looked at each other after sitting for COVID and not being able to cruise. In Canada, we couldn't cruise for over 2 years. They wouldn't let us on a ship or leave the country to get on a cruise ship. And we kind of looked at each other, and I said, why don't we start recording this? Because we had done so many cruises, and we had a bunch of pictures, but we were starting to lose the memories of each cruise. I said, if no one ever watches a video, we'll have a record of our family vacations that our children can watch in future years. And that's kind of what got Mrs. Canuck.
He got me on the sentimental fact because I didn't want to do it. It really was like, there's no way I'm going on camera and having you chase me around the ship with a camera. But then when he said, but wouldn't it be nice if we had a vlog of when we went on the last cruise with your dad? I'm like, okay, that's it. I guess I'm walking around with a camera now.
Yeah, but that's so true, isn't it? Because it captures all those memories, and that's one of the reasons that we started doing it. Was to when we couldn't travel. Hopefully, we'll live long enough that we'll get to a stage where we won't want to travel so much, but we can relive our memories through through the vlogs. And I think that's a fabulous reason to start. Yeah. But I know, Jerry, you've got we've been talking a lot. Obviously, we've been on it for a week now, nearly. Jerry's got an interesting background with, because you did YouTube, didn't you, for golf games?
I did kind of a gaming channel with for a golf design game. So I would go on and design golf courses, real life golf courses, and then people would want to know how I did that. So I started a channel explaining how I went through the process of building golf courses, and became monetized. And and it was very interesting. But it wasn't my passion. It was a career, but it wasn't my passion. Cruising was the passion. So when we focused on this, then it kind of really took off for us.
I think the thing is with YouTube, people think, I'm just going to start a YouTube channel. It's not that easy, is it?
No. I mean, it was for me because he did all the work.
For me too.
It's pretty easy for me. I just had to allow him to put me on camera, but
That was the hardest part.
No, but yeah, and that was the hardest part for you to do it.
For you allow me.
Yeah, I know, you worked really hard.
We still go through a process where Mrs. Canuck has to do a final review of every video and every scene to make sure it's okay to go on.
Well, there was probably more editing in the beginning of it than now. It's like, oh well, you've seen it now.
This is the one that's we always find really difficult to answer, and everybody gets asked, what's your favourite cruise ship of all time?
Wow.
And will they be the same?
I don't know. Will it be the same? What's your favorite cruise?
What's mine? Mine always seems to be a recent one because you know, I kind of lose the memory of what was special about the ones long time ago, and the more recent ones kind of, it almost feels like every cruise ship that I go on for the first time becomes a favorite briefly until I go on another one. But if I had to nail it down right now, it's tough. I really liked Holland America's Rotterdam, and it's really close with Princess's Caribbean Princess. I really enjoyed both of those. I thought if I could put those two together, it'd be the perfect cruise ship, I think.
All right. So for me, I would say it was the Sky Princess, because we just had the opportunity of being on board with 50 of our friends and family for our daughter's wedding. So that will probably always have a special memory.
Yeah.
But sailing out of Manhattan too is right up there for me. That was probably one of my favorite sail away places, and what a wonderful cruise we had.
Yeah, Carnival Miracle.
And that was a Carnival Miracle years ago. Probably our first 8-day cruise we ever did together. So yeah.
Oh, we're looking forward to that, aren't we? In August for your birthday, sailing out of Manhattan. So yes, if you want to know about, if you want to get married on a cruise ship, then do check out their channel, because obviously all the information's there.
Yeah, but if you'd rather stay happy for the rest of your life and not get married, there's other stuff there you can watch as well.
There you go.
Right then, Paulie, next up.
In keeping, because obviously we've been eating a lot of food on here, what is the best meal you've ever had on a cruise ship?
Oh, well, I know that one for me. I can answer that first. It was this summer. We were on the Norwegian Epic, and it was the French restaurant. And we've been on the Epic quite a few times, never gone to the French restaurant because I didn't think it would be a restaurant that would be what I wanted. But I thought, oh, I'll do it just for him because he's gone to the steakhouse a lot with me. And we went, and it was fabulous. The best meal I've ever had at a specialty restaurant on a cruise ship.
Mine. We went on the Carnival Pride out of Tampa. We were doing a Christmas cruise. And we had parents, grandparents, children there. And I started bothering the waiter early in the week because my favorite meal on a cruise ship is always meatloaf, of all things. But,
Oh wow!
And so I started asking the waiter, what night is going to be meatloaf night? What night? And it never came on the menu. It came to Christmas Day, and he had told me, oh, it'll be Christmas Day. That'll be your favorite will be on the Christmas Day. I'm thinking, no, it's never going to happen. And we get there in the menu, I look at it, no meatloaf. So I thought, well, he was just giving me a hard time. So I said, I'll have the turkey dinner for Christmas Day. And brings all the food out, and all of a sudden the head chef comes out with our waiter, and they've got this big, huge platter. They made it my own meatloaf out of the kitchen and brought it out onto the dining room, put it on the table for me to have my own meatloaf for dinner. So that was
brilliant.
That was really special because I stood up. We had some pictures with the head chef, and
the head chef said, I had no problem doing it, but it took a long time because I've never made this small of a meatloaf
for one person.
He's used to making it for a whole ship.
Yeah, so that was my favorite meal because it was so
and
special.
It was obviously good.
Yeah, it was delicious, and it just kind of at the time reinforced the service on cruise ships and the little special things they do, individual things, and that really hit home for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant!
Fabulous. Right. Favorite. What I like is your answers are different, which is great. Usually,
we don't agree on anything.
I'll just tell you whatever Carole tells me to.
Nice.
Right. What is your favorite cruise? What is your?
Speak up, Annie.
What's your favorite cruise destination?
Ooh.
Want me to go while you think about it?
Go. Yeah.
Mine would be one we just did in August. I would say Northern Europe. It's funny because like starting cruising, Mrs. Canuck spent years working on me to go to Europe. I wasn't going to go to Europe. It was too far of a flight and going over the ocean. Things I'd never done. I went to Europe and just fell in love with it. Now I'm counting the days to the next time we can go back to Europe. So I think that was just about any cruise in Northern Europe would be my favorite, I think.
Yeah, well, we had a wonderful trip this summer in Europe, so probably some of the surprise places for me were Bruges, loved it,
Yep.
and La Corona, Spain. But if we're doing the Caribbean, And as much as it's on everybody's itinerary, we have had so much fun doing different things at Cozumel. And so we've been to Cozumel, I believe, 14 times.
Have you?
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God,
I feel
14.
like I could sell real estate in Cozumel because we've been there that much. But it kind of feels like now like we're going home. And they're always improving it and doing more different excursions, and there's different places and beaches and stuff to go to. So I love going to Cozumel.
Cozumel for me is like Vegas, though. It's kind of, I get into trouble every time I go to Cozumel. Usually
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot of tequila flowing and
Yeah.
different things
He's
we do.
usually dancing with the mariachi band
On
on
the-
his
on the
way
pier
back
coming back.
onto the ship.
And so kind of what happens in Cozumel stays in Cozumel.
It's true.
Do you
It's
have a
true.
Cosmo guide on your YouTube channel?
No, we don't.
We should, but how many
Maybe we
times?
should, right? Yeah.
Because when we've been to Cosmo, we've gone off and we've got on thinking, oh, there's not a lot here, but then
Oh.
obviously there's loads.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
all
every
kinds of
I think
things.
we've done something different almost every single time.
We have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, excellent. I love how you say Bruges.
Is it wrong? Am I saying it wrong?
We love how you say it. It's totally wrong,
It's
but we
totally
love how you say
No,
it.
we say Bruges.
It's Bruges.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've had such good fun this week because obviously the guy's Canadian, obviously we're English and we say things so differently, so we've laughed so much.
Paul's been counting how many times I've said A.
Yeah.
What are we at now? A?
Or a boot.
Or he said it this morning when we got in the elevator on our camera, and I said, "Oh, just wait till they hear you."
That's some of me surprise questions going on.
I'm sorry.
So, why do Canadians say a boot?
I don't believe we do, but according to Paul and Carole, we do. So I don't know. Every time she says, say
About.
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 Am I saying it?
So
it,
if we-
it all sounded the same, did it not?
No.
Yeah, but you're really trying now. When it's just a normal conversation, you definitely say boot.
So about is A-B-O-U-T. We're going about the house.
Yeah.
We're going about. They say a boot.
yeah. They spell it
It's lovely. I think it's really cute.
A-B-O-O-O-O-O-T.
Anyway, back to some serious questions.
Bucket list cruise, money no object.
No, there's so
Where,
many.
where, what, how, when.
Definitely
where.
Australia for me. But I would love to do, money no object. Probably will never happen, but Hawaii all the way to Alaska, to Australia.
Australia,
Yeah, that would be a bucket list one for me.
Oh, that's a tough one because I want to go everywhere and do everything. I really do. Like, I have so much of a thirst for travel. I want to go everywhere.
But if somebody said to you now, Jerry, you can only have one more cruise,
What would you choose?
what would it be?
It would be, I'd probably start Central America, Northern South America. We'd hit the Galapagos Islands. We'd go down the coast. We'd hit Antarctica, come back up towards Buenos Aires, Rio de Janeiro, that type of thing. I think that would be a bucket list. If expense was nothing, I think that would be
Yeah.
a dream vacation.
Yeah.
We better start buying some lottery tickets, right?
Yeah.
Just remember who your friends are. How many cruises do you currently have booked?
Oh, not very many, to be honest. Probably the least in a while.
Least in
We
years?
have 2. That's it right now, currently.
Well, kind of. We have 2 we know we're going on. We only have 1 booked.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
We're waiting. We have a commitment to go on another one. We're just waiting for the price to hopefully go down a little bit. But yeah, we're at a stage where we're hoping to start booking some last minute ones. We've hoping to have a little more flexibility in work-life schedule. So we've only booked 2.
Which is funny
About 2.
because we would have asked that question a year ago. We had like 9 or 10 cruises all
We
booked,
did.
but we burned all those up, and we were
Yeah.
a lot of them were for COVID credit type of cruises that we were trying to
Yeah.
get through.
Or even COVID deals. Like after we had already booked all the credits, all of a sudden we started seeing some really good deals if you booked before we were able to start sailing, right? And so we booked a lot going, yeah, let's do that. And then the payments came due all around the same time, so that was fun.
Yeah. That's the tough bit, isn't it?
Right, since you've started your YouTube channel, has your style changed, and if so, how?
Our style in like
Yes.
with the
Wait, how we
camera.
cruise? Yeah.
I don't think our style and how we've cruised has changed.
For me, it has.
Okay.
I think my tendency on a cruise is I go to relax because I'm so busy in my regular life. So we go sit on a lounger, listen to an audiobook all day long, and do not much. But now I'm conscious of there's things going on around the ship, and I feel like let's take the camera and go show people what happens on a cruise ship. That's kind of the nature of our vlog content, is to show a day in the life on a cruise ship, and we do that every day. And so it's kind of changed for me. I do more things, I think, than I would ever do on a cruise ship, simply because I kind of want to show people the whole experience.
Because you want to document it, yeah.
I want to document it, yeah, and it's actually made me enjoy cruising more. Because I think I was a little bit of a stick in the mud before. I'd be like, Mrs. Canuck would be, let's go do this. Like, I don't want to move. I'm on vacation. Don't bother me.
I've been able to keep you out later. He used to want to go to bed way before I was ready to go to bed on a cruise ship. So that would be.
So he's done really well on this one.
Yeah, he has. Because if before we started carrying a camera around, it was nothing for him to say it's 10 o'clock. Let's go to bed. And I'm like, what are you? 80 years old? We're on vacation. I want to stay out for a couple more hours. So maybe that is the biggest thing. But really nothing's changed for me because, again, he does all the work. And I do sit on a lounge chair and read a book all day while he's running around.
But as we discussed earlier, myself and Jill are the eye candy of our particular YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And these two are the worker bees.
Well, I don't know if I'm...
So you're the queen bee.
Yeah.
We're the worker bees.
That's probably true.
It is difficult to get that balance, though, isn't it? I think anyone that's thinking about starting a YouTube channel and traveling and documenting your adventures, it takes a while to get in your stride and find that balance, because it's so easy to concentrate so much on getting that footage that you but you miss out on that chilling and coming back from a cruise feeling like, do you know, I have had a nice holiday. So you have to find your way, and it took us a while, didn't it, to find our way of doing that.
Found your way, yeah.
I have.
I've had to tell you twice on this cruise. Mate, we need to get out and do some stuff. It's not all about the work.
It does take time.
I think for us, we did watch a lot of vloggers through COVID because you weren't allowed to go anywhere, and so we were able to see people that I thought, oh my God, they look exhausted. They're doing so much. And then we would watch you guys and think, oh, they're still having fun. So when I saw you guys doing your channel and how much fun came across the camera, I went, okay, if you can guarantee me that we can go cruising and still have as much fun as we normally do, then you can bring a camera and we'll try this.
The time when you stop having fun and enjoying yourself and you're vlogging is the time to stop vlogging.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So we still have a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
As we have had this week, hasn't it? It's been brilliant.
It's been
and that would be, even though it's not all about us today, that would be my piece of advice is, if you're doing it for the money, you're so doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Do it for the,
do it for the love of it and the passion, and you just want to document your own I don't say, sounds like bloody X Factor type thing, but you want to document your journey, but you want to point out to people, because we get, oh, you moan about this, you moan about that. We're not moaning about things for the sake of it. We just want to point out exactly what you can expect on a cruise and the pitfalls and how to avoid them. But some people are just see that as you've moaned about something.
Yeah, it's just the reality of cruising, because travel can be hard.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's people think it's just this amazing experience, and it is 80% of the time. Yeah. But there are things that you need to be aware of, which is why we vlog. But anyway, back to the questions, Pauline.
Back to the questions. How do you deal with nasty and negative comments?
Well, there's a few strategies involved in that, and the first one I would say is that usually Jerry will block them from me ever seeing them. That's the first strategy. If he sees something that he thinks will upset me, he gets rid of that right away.
Yeah, I'm maybe I'm not at the stage I can let it go yet, but every comment kind of hurts a little bit, or I feel like I need to be defensive a little bit. So, and then they do come in, and it doesn't affect my morale. It doesn't affect my passion to do this, or judge anybody in the way they live their life. It just makes me, I kind of feel defensive, more towards
protective.
Well, I was just going to say that.
Like they can say anything about me, and I'm like, oh, that's ridiculous. I don't care less what you think about me. But if they say something about Jill, then I get my back up.
That's exactly what I was going to say, was that I know that when we got one particular comment that was attacking you, I was extremely upset about it, because I'm like, obviously you don't know my husband at all, and you feel like that when something comes towards me.
Yeah, right? and ideally we get to a place where it's kind of, duck off your back. Water off the duck.
Duck off your back. We'll have to use that in future.
That's a new Canadian saying.
The scary thing is, throughout this cruise, Jill has repeatedly said to me how much these two are alike.
Identical.
Unbelievable. And Carole is also the master of the mixed metaphor. But she's never used duck off my back.
No.
But I'm sure she will at some point. But the scary thing is, at least you knew you said that, because Carole will say something, and when I say to her, mate,
Yeah, you said that.
you just said that. She said, no, I didn't. And that's the beauty of videoing, is because you can say, well,
You've got
actually you
proof.
did.
Yeah.
But like, say, you try and get the duck off your back, but it's hard, isn't it? Sometimes, and you have to, as a YouTuber, you have to build like what we call rhino skin, because there is a lot of people out there that give you the most amazing comments, which makes it all worthwhile.
Yes.
But then you might get 100 brilliant comments, you get one nasty one, and you have to learn to say, yeah, actually, do you know that person's in a bad place for whatever reason? Just ignore it.
That's true.
But it took me a long. I was where you were, but now I can just ignore it and it doesn't bother. And actually, we laugh about it now,
we
don't
do,
we?
Well,
but it's hard.
Yeah, and I found in this cruise so far, just being able to talk to you and kind of share negative comments, it makes us feel better. It's like, okay, everybody's going through the same thing with us.
It's
not us, right?
Just somebody targeting
Because
us.
we feel bad, because what we started doing now is when we get a negative comment, we save it, and then what we'd like to do at some point is do like a mean comments video, just to say what people have said about
But just
us.
to prepare people that are
But we had
planning to
so many that we didn't keep, which
before that,
which were like absolute
which were
bangers.
gems.
I mean, a recent favourite one was I do like to have a drink when I'm on a cruise, but when I'm at home, I don't drink any more than once or twice a week. Sometimes I don't drink at all. And somebody put, I can understand why Paul drinks so much. Now I've seen Carole.
I know. You should get a divorce immediately.
Right, the last serious question. Any advice you would give to aspiring, young, upstarty, up-and-coming, YouTubey, travel bloggy people? And that's exactly how I've written that question, by the way.
Well, I think it would sort of tie into our last question. You have to develop a thick skin. If you are concerned about what people say about how your hair is or what you're wearing or how you're acting, don't do it, because if that bothers you.
Yeah, totally.
My advice would be to be yourself.
Yes.
There's only one you, and just let that come out on the camera. We tried at first to kind of feel like we were, you know.
No, not we, you.
Yeah.
I will say you, because we argued about this.
We tried to be like on camera.
He put on a TV
We are the
personality,
Cruising Canucks, and let's
I'm
bring
like-
today about this.
Yeah.
And it was kind of this kind of being experts, right?
And we'd turn the camera off, and I'd be like, "Who are you? Like, why are you talking like that?" Right?
So-
It just felt so weird and unnatural to me.
And that's where getting the comments helped, because we had these comments coming in that were saying, we just love the way you two are together as a couple, and your banter back and forth, and your funny little mannerisms and the things you say. And we thought, this is more about us just being us and showing our experience than us trying to be an expert on anything or bigger than life, right? Just being ourselves. And I think that's the biggest bit of advice. That would be the biggest one. The next one would be kind of learn the trade. There's a lot of work behind doing YouTube. It's more than just turning the camera on and talking to it. There's the two people.
I agree.
There's only two people here that know the. But
Once again, Joe.
but there's a lot of work. You learn the editing, learn how YouTube works, learn all that. You don't have to learn how to beat the algorithm, but you need to learn how to manage stuff like footage and cameras and all the details that go into filming, because at the end of the day, if you want something that's consumable and people are going to enjoy to watch, it has to be, something of some level of a standard that it's not a shaky camera or noisy, bad audio. There's an expectation. So there is a skill there that needs to be learned.
Totally agree. And it's
I look
hard
forward
work.
to learning that.
Well, I haven't learned it. I was.
And when I say I look forward to learning it, I
You
don't.
don't. But no, it's true. If you are thinking about being on YouTube, then it is a lot of work. But it is very rewarding. Yeah. So I would definitely, obviously, recommend. But don't think that you're going to just put something very simple out. And this, we've been going 6 years now, and our YouTube is growing, and we're so thankful for that. But it's been a lot of hard work on the way, and you guys have been doing it. It's not been over. It doesn't happen overnight.
No,
I'm trying to say.
And that's the thing is
patience is key.
People think it does, and what you said is very much what I've always said about being yourself. And there was some wise man, and I ought to look it up really, but there was some wise man who said, "Be yourself, because everybody else is already taken." And you will find that the more you're in front of the camera, the more relaxed you are, and that's when it's the true you. And we see people now, and we're friends with people, and we see people starting out who we don't know, and you can see as they're developing, they get more and more relaxed,
True, you do,
and
for sure.
they're less wooden, and but you will still always see people out there who go back to, if it's all about the money, you'll see that it's all about the money.
Yeah.
And eventually people will see through them.
Exactly.
And I think a funny story for us connected to that is that I'm a very private, quiet person in my normal life and my interactions with friends and family. I'm usually the quiet one in the room in the conversation because somebody talks more than anybody I know.
See, we're alike. These two.
So what happened is the way I behaved around the house, one-on-one with Jill.
Or even at like a party.
with-
He is the quiet person standing in the corner at at any sort of like a birthday party or a friend's party or anything. He is definitely the opposite of the life of the party.
And what I found is eventually I felt comfortable enough in front of the camera that I let the real me that Jill sees every day walking around the house saying smart alecky things and joking about stuff. I started doing it on the camera and I was shocked because people started commenting saying, and even our friends and family went on and watched the video saying, we've never seen this version of Jerry. Who is this person, right?
My family that has known him for 20 plus years, 25 years, are like, I didn't know Jerry was like that. I've never seen that side of him.
But most of the people that ever met me was like, we had no idea Jerry was funny because I was the most stale, boring person they ever met. So they were really shocked.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. We've gotten that a lot from friends and family.
Oh, brilliant.
Right then.
Oh.
What's a Canuck?
Yes, I think you asked that on one of your lives one time when we were on and typed, and you said, "What the heck is a Canuck? What is
Or how
it?"
to say it.
It is a slang
It's
for
kind
a
of
Canadian.
Yeah, it's kind of a slang. There's a hockey team in Canada that's named the Canucks. It's
There used to be a skit, a comedian skit, all about Canadians, and Canuck is it's just a joke or a play on words and a nickname for Canadians.
I've heard some people say it's kind of a negative connotation, but I've never taken it that way or seen it that way. But yeah, it's just instead of calling someone a Canadian, you can call them a Canuck. I don't think it's an insult. We kind of hooked that up to cruising, and it made sense for us.
It's just pronounced Canuck.
Canuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say it different than me,
We
though.
say Canuck.
Oh, do we?
I think you do. I heard
I
you
say Canuck.
Oh,
What do
you
you
said
say?
it right that time.
Canuck.
Last time you say Canuck.
I do not.
You
Oh
do.
my goodness. Everybody tells me now I can't speak properly.
Hey.
Oh, brilliant.
And the final thing, into the camera. Where, what, how can we find you on all your social medias? Now is your chance to advertise the Cruising Canucks.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
I'll let you do that. You do all that stuff.
This is when they find
Well-
us out,
Jill
Jill.
has no idea how to find herself on the internet.
I can give you my home address. Would that help? No, I do know a little bit. We are
So our biggest presence is on YouTube.
Cruising Canucks.
Yes, and we do have an Instagram page, which I believe is Cruising_Canucks.
Canucks,
Yeah,
it
because
is.
Cruising Canucks was taken by someone that rides motorcycles across Canada, so
Yeah.
they have that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we do have a Facebook page and a private Facebook group that we have several hundred members now that we talk to about cruising and share our experiences.
Yes, it's a nice
And-
little growing community on
Yeah.
Facebook.
And we do have a website also, cruisingcanucks.ca for Canada.
Yes.
And there we put posts up about our videos that are coming out and different pieces of news, like our group cruise that's coming up. Some of the things that we use when we're vlogging. People always want to know, the floaty that you had in the water or the dress that Jill was wearing. If we have links and affiliate links for Amazon, we put that on there so people can find the same things.
Check that floaty out 'cause it's amazing.
Yeah, Carol
Yeah,
tried it out this
I
week,
did.
so we got to get her
Yeah.
one.
So I think that's it. We're not on Twitter or anything.
Twitter.
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 See, what is it? Carol?
Twitter.
Twitter? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Twitter. We're
Yeah.
not on Twitter.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, the main one is
Yeah.
YouTube with a little bit of
YouTube, for
Facebook,
sure.
and Instagram's slowly growing. Yeah, as we
Yeah.
learn how to use it.
Yeah. Thanks to Paul and Carol.
Yeah.
They've been teaching us all week how
Yeah.
to up our game on Instagram.
I haven't sent the bill in yet for my
Yeah,
Instagram
consulting
tutorials.
fees. Yeah, exactly.
So that's it.
Yes.
We're Paul and Carole.
And this
They're
is-
the Cruising Canucks.
But do go and check them out, and I will also put all their links in the description below so you can go and find them and make sure you follow them on all their platforms and subscribe to their channel.
Yes. So thanks for watching.
Yes.
Yes, thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks for having us, Paul and Carol.
Yeah.
Yes,
Catch you
thank you.
later.
Bye.